sight lines. And so we were talking about old school sight lines where when you were squatting, if you weren't level, you were actually looking up.
Right.
You know, so you're go like this. Okay, here's my squat position, right? I'm dropping down like this, which is a really vertical back. Ton of stress on the knees, not to mention the cervical lordosis in the cervical spine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the extension, hyperextension. So then he was talking about a different sight line, which is about 6 to 8 feet out in front of you. And that's much more neutral, and that would fit more with like a Pendlay style, Glenn Pendlay style, which is trying to keep your cervical spine neutral with the rest of your spine. And that actually plays pretty well into the Arthur squat model. So in terms of a visual cue, because if we're trying to progress the athlete from, where's the cue coming from? It used to be from here, because the adage was wherever the head goes, the spine will follow. So if my head is down, my spine's going to collapse. Well, that's partially true, but if we can train proper spinal alignment from the chest down, then your head's free to do whatever it wants. And that's where Pendlay comes in with, hey, it's okay to look like a bird feeder as long as the rest of your spine is integral, right?
Okay.
So anyway, so moving forward. So traditional squat then, or not traditional, that's the wrong word, but old school squat had a lot to do with trying to stay as vertical as possible. So you end up looking like something like this, because I'm trying to stay upright, right? Now, I went to a sumo style, notice that my feet are turned out, my hips are open, because I don't have the hip flexibility to actually do that in a traditional style and stay that upright. I won't get much depth at all. So then the Arthur squat model then talks about the three structures of the joints, the 3 joint structures and the overlap in musculature, whereby as you go into quote unquote flexion of the 3 joints, it's actually isokinetic. So the muscles aren't really lengthening and shortening, they're bracing and working in unison so that the joints can flex. And that looks something like this. So I'm here and I initiate breaking plane with all 3 points, shoulders, knees, and hips working at the same time. Everything breaking at the same time, like so. And then same thing coming into extension. So as I go into triple extension, all 3 joints go into triple extension in unison. And one of the points made is that when that's done in that isokinetic fashion, regardless of weight, it's actually really easy to stop anywhere in the movement and not be under a lot of stress. Even coming up. And then finally driving the hips forward. Kind of like a scissor jack. As I drive my hips forward, everything locks into place into full extension on all 3 joint structures. Okay?